Hello, FACO. Welcome to my channel, Revived and Restored, or is it Restored and Revived? Either way, same thing, right? Restored and revived. So, if this is your first time stumbling upon my channel, and if you haven't subscribed, just for the YouTube algorithm, if you don't mind, could you just do three things for me? Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and of course, don't forget to hit that notification bell. And lastly, just share the video because um, this is not for me. It's not about me. It's about doing what the Lord said for me to do, obeying God's instruction. Does my hair look lopsided? Obeying God's instruction. Again, this is episode segment 5, and today I'll be talking about the demonic ceremonies associated with the Bondo Society, female genital mutilation, as it's known all over the world. Some people call it female circumcision. I have a problem with that because I was not born with a penis. I do not have a foreskin. I didn't have a foreskin. Females do not have foreskins to be circumcised. So for me, my genitalia was mutilated and it wasn't consensual. I didn't consent to it. So, and why am I doing this? In case this is your first time watching, I hope that you can stay on and watch, the rest of the video. It's not, like I said, because of me. I'm just obeying God's instruction that came in December 2024, and this is June 2025. I'm doing my part. The Lord told me to continue, told me through a servant of his to continue speaking against FGM and other things that he told me to do that I can't get into right now, but you'll see the manifestation when the time is right. He said for me to tell people to stop destroying his creation. And what is that? The creation. God created my genitalia, right? He created my clitoris, my vagina. He fashioned it the way he wants it to look because he's the all-knowing God. He knew what he was doing. And so somebody just decided, a few people just decided, oh, you know what? That clitoris actually looks sort of like a penis. And when it's aroused, I don't like the way it looks. So you know what? Let's just take that away from them. Yeah, let's do that and see what happens. Or, oh, I saw my daughter touching herself and she was all red or pink and blue in the face. I wonder what that's about. You know what? Let's take that part away from her. My wife enjoys sex too much. Or these women enjoy sex. And you know what? Maybe it shouldn't be that way. What's the reason for that? Why? Let's take that part away from them. So, God created me with a clitoris for a reason, for a purpose. So for you, whomever, to come and decide to take that away, not just from me, according to the World Health Organization, there are more than 230 million women and girls who've been subjected to this horrendous practice. So when God says to tell them that they are destroying my creation, it's because they are. I am 51. In a few weeks, I'll be 52. FGM, I was subjected to the Bondo Society, female genital mutilation, when I was age 11. So that was over 40 years ago. And I still remember it as if it just happened yesterday. You do not forget that. In my life, my personal experiences, my lived experience, I've gone through child sexual assault, rape. For me, FGM is the worst form of rape. Worst form of sexual violence that I've survived. And I remember the date. I remember the atmosphere, what was in the atmosphere. I remember the pain. Do I remember being sexually assaulted as a child or being raped here? But I don't remember the dates. But August 1st, 1984 will forever be etched in my memory. All right, so that's that. If you're a survivor, I'm sure, and maybe let's say you're a survivor of the Bondo, you went through the Bondo Society. And again, my mom had nothing to do with this. My mom is Creole. She did not subject me to FGM, and I always tell people this. My stepmother at the time and my father, my stepmother actually convinced Papa that me and my older sister should be subjected to go through the bondo society. Did Papa later regret it? I believe he did, because the woman who used to cook, the nanny, after she passed, Papa adopted um her daughter, and not on paper, she just took he just took her in. And so when her grandmother came to take her to the bondo society, Papa said no. So I'm like, wow, you protected her, but you couldn't protect your own daughters. I wonder what charm he was he was under, what influence he was under. But yeah. All right. So that's that. So for today, I'm going to be talking about some of the demonic ceremonies associated with the Bondo Society. If you're from Liberia, Sierra Leone, you will attest to what I'm about to share. If you know of somebody, you may not have gone through female genital mutilation, you may not have been subjected to it, but if you know of anyone, or you just want to help share this message, I'm using this as an advocacy tool, as an educational tool, spread awareness, about our trauma. So please share this video, like it, and do whatever you want to do with it. If it doesn't sit well with you, you can go ahead and you can't delete it because it's on my channel, right? But yeah. So one of the ceremonies I remember, and just so you know, everything was done in the nighttime, midnight, and you have to be naked. If that's not demonic, then I don't know what is. What has that got to do with me being taught about womanhood, about motherhood? First of all, at age 11, I hadn't even had my period. I knew nothing about womanhood. I hadn't gone through puberty, nothing. So for me to be naked in the middle of the night, and you telling me to do certain things, what has it got to do with womanhood? Anyway, so I remember one night, well, first of all, let me talk about the food. There's this particular food that they prepared and none of them ate it. So it was rice. I think it was the rice from, we call it country rice. It's grown in Sierra Leone. I believe it's red rice. So that's what they cooked. We were not there when they were cooking it. We didn't see. I don't even remember seeing them cook it, but I'm sure they it was prepared there. So they cooked it with different leaves. Don't ask me what the leaves are. I do not know. All I know is leaves, greens, and they made it with palm oil. And so when they cooked the food, they put it in a tray. Because it was just the two of us, my sister and myself, they put the rice and then they put the, what we call plasas. They put the plasas on top of the rice. And they had a steak that they put in the center of the food in the tray. And they set it in front of us. And they gathered and they were watching us. And they said to us, when you eat this food, you don't dig into it. It's all in my book. I don't know if you know that I wrote a book about it. It's called Distant Sunrise, The Strength in Her Pain to Forgive. It's on Amazon. It's $13. You can look up my name, F.A. Cole, Distant Sunrise, The Strength in Her Pain to Forgive. And if you do not see 2 books under my name, don't purchase it, because there are people buying my books and they're selling it for 3 times the price. So it's $13, all right? The other book is The Children Who Never Were. So when you go to Amazon and you Google F.A. Cole, Distant Sunrise, The Strength in Her Pain to Forgive, and my profile comes up, you should see 2 books. So they put a stick in the center of the food, of the tray, and they said to us, if you're a witch, ignoring the fact that they were the biggest witches themselves, if you're a witch, while you eat, if the stick falls in your direction, it means you're a witch. Yeah, that's what they told us. But for this one, it was in the afternoon and we were not naked. So we sat there and they showed us how to eat. You don't dig, like, when you eat, those of us who eat with our fingers, you dig deep and then you eat. They said we should like you massaging the food. Yes, so that's how we eat, in a circular motion, and then we eat it. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted, I've ever had. And so it looked, from the look of it, it looked delicious. And so we did what they told us to do while they sat looking. And the moment I put that thing in my mouth, I almost vomited. I don't know what they had in it. There's a myth in Sierra Leone that, and also in Liberia, correct me if I'm wrong, this is not just a monologue, okay, even though I'm the only one talking right now, but please post your comments in the comment section. Just keep it respectful, okay? They say that in Sierra Leone and Liberia, they actually, after they've amputated the clitoris from the girls, they actually put it in that food. When they cook that food, they put it in it and you're supposed to eat. That's what we eat. I can't say if it's true or not. I don't know. That one, I have no idea. But just the thought of it makes me sick to my stomach. I just hope that that's not true. But I do know in Liberia that it's sold, actually, the soways, and they use it as an aphrodisiac. Yeah, the clitoris of these girls, people eat it. People do. All right, so we sat there and I ate, and it was nasty. It was disgusting. And they actually said, oh, eat, eat, eat. I'm like, I can't eat this. And I had another handful, and that was it. I said, no, I can't have any more. But I'm sure whatever damage that was already done, because I had already ingested, I already ate some of it. And so they didn't force us. I don't know if they actually ate it. So they came and they took the tray away. That's one. One other demonic ceremonies within the Bondo society. They take you to either a river or a stream. Now keep in mind, I'm not a swimmer. I was not a swimmer, and I'm not a swimmer. I still don't know how to swim. And they took us early in the morning. We had on our t-shirts, because that's all we wore when we were there, t-shirts. And they told us to bring a change of t-shirts. So we went, and when we were walking to the stream, they told us, oh, don't look anybody in the face if a man is coming, because it was very early in the morning, but people were already up. A few people were up and about. And so they told us, don't look anybody in the face, especially men. Just keep your head down and just walk. So one of them was in front of us and another one was behind us. And we were just in the middle. We walked down to the stream, and we weren't told what we were going to do. We got there and they told us to take off our clothes again. You always have to be. So we took off our clothes, and just bear with me, this may be a bit long. We took off our clothes and they told us we have to get in the water. Now remember, I'm not a swimmer. Why would you take a child who's not a swimmer and you're not teaching them to swim and tell them to fetch something in the water? So what they did, one of them, the soways, the cutters, what they did was they had a horn, which I know is demonic. It's not just a normal regular horn. They had a horn, she had a horn, and she placed it in between her big toe and her second toe, right? Yeah, her thumb toe and her index toe. And she told us to fetch. So my sister went first, and I was told to not look, to turn around. What was that about? So when it was my turn, they told us to get into the water, head first, and I don't know how to swim. What would have happened if I had died there? I don't know. I didn't know how to hold my breath underwater. Nothing of the sort. So I went in. We had to find the thing. I had my eyes closed. We had to find her foot with a horn and take it from her foot and then lift it up above her head and give it to them, and then she does it again. We had to do that 3 times. We didn't ask any questions. I don't know what that was about, but that I know is demonic. So that was the second ceremony. And then afterwards, the clothes we had on, remember, we slept in it. It's my possession. They took it from us and they did some stuff and then they tossed it in the stream. What does that mean? Imagine somebody taking your clothes and making some incantations, speaking into it, and then they toss it in the ocean. What's in the ocean? They're demonic gods. They're deities associated, when you go into, when you are subjected to FGM, the Bondo Society, the Sierra Leone way, the Liberia way, it's super demonic. And they summon deities, demonic presence. Anyway, so that was another one. And the third one, in the middle of the night, they woke us up and they told us we had to take off all our clothes. And we went out and there was this thing. It was like a corpse, a coffin, right? Casket. That's what the thing looked like. They dressed it and they had white and other stuff to cover it. We don't know what that was. Was it a corpse? I don't know, but I wouldn't put that past those people. And so they told us what to do. We had to jump over it 3 times. And when you're jumping over it, make sure that your foot does not touch whatever that thing was, because if it does, you will die. Every of the stupid laws you break, every of the stupid demonic rules you break, you die. You talk about FGM, you talk about what happened to you, your stomach will swell and you'll die. Well, my stomach isn't swollen. I'm not dead. I'm still alive. That just lets me know that it's all a bunch of... Anyway. So, my sister again went first because she's older. They always do older to the oldest to the youngest. So when it was my turn, some of them, because it's like a corpse, so you jump over it and one of them on the other side catches you. And then you go around and you do it again. You go around and you do it again. In some instances, like I talked with, this was years ago, over 40 years ago when I went through it. Somebody told me that in their case, when they actually jumped over the thing that looked like a corpse, it increases in height. So it started really low, and as you jump over it, it will, I don't know the right English word to use, but the height, it gets higher. It gets higher. It gets higher until you can no longer jump over it. So how is that possible? So those are some of the demonic practices, ceremonies associated with the Bondo Society in Sierra Leone and Liberia, because we're neighbors, Sierra Leone and Liberia. Liberia practices the Sunday, they call it the Sunday Society. And in Sierra Leone also the Mendes call it the Sunday Society. So those are some of the things, the food that we had to eat, the horn that we had to fetch in the river, and jumping over this corpse-like looking thing. And afterwards, they continue to dance and celebrate. I don't know. I really don't know. And I remember that night, the only beautiful thing about that night was the moon. I would never forget that moon. The moon was up and it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. I remember that moonlight. And in hindsight, I believe it was God's way of just telling me and letting me know that I am with you. I see everything that's happening to you. I'm not ignorant of your pain. You have no idea how this will affect you. But I will always, always be there. I would never forget that moon. I don't remember the date, but I remember that moon. I remember the moonlight. That was the only beautiful thing about that night. And when they were done, they told us to go back in the hut while they dismantled whatever that was and took their demon back to wherever they got it from. So those are some of the ceremonies, the demonic ceremonies that I remember associated with the Bondo Society. If you're from Sierra Leone and this is your story, I would love to hear from you. Again, please just help me share this video, all of these videos, Remember, if you're a Christian, what the Bible says in the book of First Peter chapter 5 verse 8. It says your adversary, the devil, like a roaring lion, is roaming about looking for whom he may devour. God says that they're destroying his creation and that they should stop. So whomever you are, if you're watching this and you are one of the women who actually amputates the clitoris of girls, God is warning you. You are destroying his creation. Stop it. You did not create. You can't create anybody. I know it's a money-making industry, but there are other ways also to make money. If you want to teach young girls about womanhood and motherhood, there are ways to do it without torturing them. Just because it happened to you does not mean that it should happen to other girls. You should actually be in a position to protect and say, you know what, this is bad. This is not God's will. It is not God's will. So I hope that we'll keep talking, we'll start talking. If you think I'm a sellout, that's fine, because I've been called that. I've been called a white man's puppet. I've been called a lot of things. I do not care. It's not about me. God is working on me. I've been delivered. And that's the other thing. Did you also know that? I did not know this. I knew that. I knew part of it, but not the way God exposed it. They summon demons to come, unbeknown to the girls. And each demon gets a girl as his wife. So if you're a survivor of FGM, Bondo Society, Sunday, and you see yourself having sex in your dream, you see yourself getting married in your dream, you've seen that. It didn't just happen. It's not coincidence. It's not something, it's not an isolated something that just, oh, that's just a bad dream. No, no, no. You have a husband in the demonic realm, because when you went through the Bondo Society, they summoned their demons because they had to do something. It's a blood covenant. They entered into a blood covenant. They cut your body part. Blood was shed. What do you think happened? Have you ever thought about what did they do with my clitoris after I was amputated? What did they do to it? What did they do with it? If you've never thought about it, I hope that you'll start thinking about it. And the only one who can actually deliver you is the Lord. The Lord also says that this is actually because of Bondo Society, because of FGM, a lot of marriages are broken. You see yourself having sex in your dreams, but you can't have sex. You can't make love to your husband. It's a struggle. Yeah. So this is just something to think about. And the only one who can deliver you is Jesus Christ. I'm just here to share the story, to use this as an advocacy, as spreading awareness, as a tool for educating the public. And even those of us who know about it, but we're not really familiar with the trauma, with the pain, psychological, spiritual, physical, all of that. I hope this video helps, and I hope that you can share it. And I will be back with segment 6. Yeah, and that's maybe the morning after. I think I've already talked about that. But I'll talk about anger and betrayal associated with female genital mutilation. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, I'm FAC. Ta-ta.